Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 9:50 p.m. and I just dropped off Tanya Jane Epplestein. We went to our meeting and then afterwards I took her to go get a fountain pop and I got a bottle of water, which I haven't even opened yet, so I'm gonna open it right now. I don't know how long I'm gonna vlog. My friend Valerini is back in town. And we're gonna meet up at the casino here in just a little bit. But I wanna vlog, and then I wanna go home and hang out with Alex for a little bit before he'll go to bed early. So, I wanna hang out with him for a little bit. Although I think that we are hanging out tomorrow night. He was really tired when he got home from work. So, I don't know how long I'm gonna vlog. I'm also really hungry. I haven't eaten today. I was thinking about pulling through Taco Bell and getting one of their vegetarian burritos. So we'll see. My one tire is low. It keeps on telling me that it's low. It's like 34, 33, 35, and 33, which I thought was really high. But that tire is the one that it has circled, and earlier it was 28. So I stopped, and this guy was like helping me, because I mean, I've filled tires a lot before, but we were both like standing out there. I was like, does it look low to you? And he was like, no, and so there was 2 air machines, and my machine wouldn't work, and so he was like, here, just use the rest of mine, it'll tell you if it's working or not. And so it said it was at 28, and so I was like, well, I guess I need to put some air in it. So I filled it up with air to 34. And then it said, it's like telling me to inflate to 36. But I feel like 36 would be really, really high. I don't know, I guess it depends on the tire, doesn't it? So I may stop and do that, but I also don't want to like overinflate my tire. It just seems weird. Before it was telling me to put it to 35, and now it's telling me to do it to 36. Which would be higher than all of the other tires, so I don't know if I want to do that or not. But anyway, I'm a little hungry, so I was like, maybe I'll just do like a little Taco Bell mukbang while I eat on here, or while I vlog on here, because I'm hungry. So we'll see in a second. Today was an okay day. I want to say this before I get into this video, that I got home last night, and I watched the end of the first episode of AJ and the Queen and the second episode. And I have to say, I'm very taken with the show. The acting was pretty bad at the beginning. It isn't as much when it just becomes like RuPaul and this kid. The acting gets better. The storyline is very endearing. And I watched the second episode and I was completely taken with the show. So, I don't know, my opinion changed literally overnight. But yeah, I wasn't really into it when I first was watching it, and now I'm a little bit more into it. So, if you're looking for a new show, AJ and the Queen, it's kind of a sweet story. I mean, tragic, but sweet. And it's on Netflix. And then, yeah, so that was that. I wanted to say that on there because yesterday I like gave this review and I was like, the acting's horrible and it's so boring and blah, 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 whatever. And then like I started watching it and I like got really into it. So anyway, what was the other thing I was gonna say? I don't know. Last night was a hard night. I was going to bed and I was just thinking a lot about PP, and I like laid in bed and I was like looking at all these pictures and I was like looking at all these videos that I had of him and running up the walkway and just sitting in bed while I was talking. I just started bawling. I was just like a bawling mess last night before I went to bed, and I just was like, I want him here so bad. Like I miss him so much, you know? And I mean, and realistically I know that he's not coming back. I mean, I know that, you know, but it weirdly seems like, and I think this is kind of like the mental denial, it weirdly seems like he's, you know, at Tanya's or something at the kennel, you know, and I'm gonna go pick him up. It just doesn't even seem real to me yet, kind of. I don't know, I just don't even know how else to explain it. So last night was hard, and then Alex was texting me today, and I was doing okay today, but like stuff just kept on reminding me of him, and I don't know, it just was, I just was having a little bit of a hard time today, and then Alex texted me, and he was like saying that he was having a hard day today too, and he was just really sad, and then that made me sad, and I felt bad, and you know, it's like we're both going through it, but I wanted to take away his pain. I wanted to make him feel better, and it's like I can't, you know, and just the whole situation sucks and is sad, and I miss the little guy, you know. So that's been kind of like the last night and morning. I got up today, and once I kind of pulled myself together, because I was just really struggling kind of even pulling myself together, I went and got my coffee at Starbucks. I had a different mug today. I used this mug, which is like a pretty, it's like a Christmas mug, but not. You can see it. I've shown it before. It's like glitter. It's like black on top, and then it's like purple and glitter and stuff on the bottom. It's pretty. And then, you can see it like that if I go around. You're like, we don't care, Peter. And is it purple? It is purple. Yeah, it's like purplish silver on the bottom. Is it purple on top though? I don't think it's purple on top. No, it's not. Here. There, you can see it better. It's so pretty, isn't it? And then, why is this person flashing their lights at me? I don't have my brights on. And then I did a review of the Starbucks secret menu Cupid Frappuccino, Valentine's Day Cupid Frappuccino. And so you can go over there and check that out on my review channel. And I was like looking for another, I think there's another one I'm gonna do tomorrow, like it's the Yoda from Star Wars. I think they have like a Yoda. Somebody told me, somebody tagged me in it on Twitter. So I'm gonna check that out tomorrow. And then what else did I do? Then I came back, I went to the post office, and I came back, and if you have won one of my last 3 review video giveaways, they're sitting and I have to mail them out, but I haven't yet. So that will be tomorrow or Thursday that I will mail those out. So you should get those by the weekend or the beginning of the week. So I just want to make that clear. So I got contacted by all 3 people. They all let me know that they had, you know, like won the review. So I think everyone but except for one has been accounted for, and I believe I reached out to that person. I have a whole list of all of it on there, so, and I haven't heard back anything. So there's only one person that everybody else should have gotten theirs except for the last 3. The fog is like so crazy up here tonight, I can't even see the gas station. And then yeah, it's like what they say, it's thick as pea soup. And then I came home and I filmed a couple videos and just kind of like relaxed around the house and stuff and cleaned up some stuff. And then I took a shower. Like I took my time taking a shower, and I used that Hemp's Christmas lotion that I got. It smells so good, and did everything. And I tried to dress nice. I wore like a little button down tonight and stuff. And then I threw on a hat. I don't even know why I'm taking my hat off because my head is killing me. It's just easier than doing. I just didn't want to do my hair tonight. And yeah, that was my day. It was just kind of that. It just wasn't. It was a really good day. I was like driving around listening to music earlier. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a really good day, but I had moments of happiness, but it was just like, I don't know, I just really missed PP today for some reason. It's like I won't, like, I don't think about it for a while, and then it's just like, it hits me like a brick wall. And that's kind of how it was today. It was like a lot of brick wall moments. My meeting was so good tonight. We talked about amends, making amends to people. Talked about staying in your own lane, just worrying about your side of the street, which is something that I've really been working on in the last year. You know, it's just like been working on me and not like finger pointing, not worrying about what other people are doing, and not, you know, it's like I can only change me, I can only work on me, and it was really good. And a friend of mine in the meeting, she said something that I really liked. She had a prayer that her sponsor taught her. And the prayer is, whatever you believe in, God or Buddha or nothing or the air or whatever, but or it's just a positive affirmation. It's help me to see this in a different way, or help me to see this with a new perspective. Whatever situation you're going through, if you're angry or you're resentful or you don't understand or you're confused or, whatever you're going through, or you're sad, you have loss or whatever in your life and you're going through something really difficult. It's, a kind of like an affirmation or a prayer to be able to see it from a different point of view. So whatever you're going through, because I think often in life, like with me, if I'm in something, if I'm going through something and, I'm like suffering major loss or somebody's done me wrong or, I felt like somebody did me wrong or just a situation in life doesn't seem fair no matter what it was, it's like, and I've had many of those in my 47 years, I think my point of view is always looking at it like, okay, in the past it was, instead of taking a look at what's my part in that, I think, and you can have a part in something and it not be your fault. Those are two different things, and I don't think I talk enough about that on this channel. It's like, you can have a part in how something is continuing to play out, but that thing was not your fault to begin with. Does that make sense? But how you're allowing it to affect you today is your choice, or not doing the work to move through it, or whatever, or taking the action necessary to do what you need to do for yourself today. Like, that's a part in it as well. And I'm not talking about really like deep situations, like abusive situations. Those are completely, I'm talking about, run-of-the-mill kind of like daily situations and stuff that happens. And I think like it's hard, it's because I think in those situations we want to be vindicated, we want to be validated, we want to be heard, we want somebody to tell us you were right in the situation. And the reality is many times we weren't right, or even if we were right, does it really matter? It goes back to that saying of, would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? And today, January 14th of 2020, I would rather be happy, period. I would. It's not important for me to be right. And I know that people don't really understand when I say that, but it's just like this constant need to like, I see it a lot, like online, yes, of course, but like offline too in my personal life. I see people just fight constantly for like, but I'm right, but I'm right, but I'm right. Okay, fine. You're right. But are you happy? Are you content? Do you have peace of mind? Because it doesn't seem that way. You can be right all you want, but maybe you don't have any peace of mind. Maybe you don't have any happiness, And I don't know, like, there was a point in my life, way back when I always would like like, it was important for me to let everybody know that I was right, and I knew that I was right. But in the same breath, I couldn't admit that, like, I was upset about it, or what's bothered, as we say today. That I was bothered by a fact that, it was some situation, but I was right. And then I'd be like, but I know I'm right. And I'm like, I have peace of mind today. I'm so serene and whatever. And I wasn't. I was so bothered by it. It was like stuff in the past was ruling me, breakups and arguments that I had with people, and it was petty and it was stupid, and it was just like, I look back on my life, and so much of my life, especially I would say in my early 20s, before I got sober and after, like even after, I was very lonely, and I don't know, and I don't think that I really knew how to have relationships with people, and I don't mean romantic necessarily relationships, I mean like, I don't know that I knew how to have relationship interactions with people. I think that was something that like came over time, and I learned how to do it. And it's like, I'm a big proponent, we were talking about this tonight in the meeting, I'm a big proponent for praying for other people that you have issues with to have what you want in your life, and like praying for them to have success and peace of mind and serenity and happiness. And when you can get behind that, like, that's been some real tough work that I've had to do in the last couple years, where I've had to like seriously think about somebody, visualize them, and say, God, please give them as much success as they possibly can have. Give them all the success in the world, all the happiness. Let them be happy every day that they wake up. Let them have all of the things in life that they would want. Let them be peaceful and serene. Let them have people that love them in their lives, you know, because once I do that, then I can see them as a human being. And the fear of whatever I have inside of me goes away. And then I no longer have this anger and this animosity and this resentment towards them because I see them as a human being, you know. It's hard to stay angry for somebody that you pray for too, I will say, you know. I left in 2019 all of the bitterness and anger that I have had building up over a very long period of time. I just don't have a lot of it inside of me anymore. I'm not saying that I don't have the capacity for anger and bitterness. I do. I do have the capacity for resentment, you know. I see a resentment coming about a mile away at this point, and I'm very aware of it. And when I see myself building a resentment, which to me, the definition of a resentment is an unfulfilled expectation or a grudge. When I see or anger, holding on to anger. When I see myself going there, like, okay, I have this situation, I can tell that I'm gonna get angry, I can tell that I'm gonna hold this against this person, and as a result, I am gonna be the one that suffers. So when I see that, ultimately it's a selfish move because I don't wanna suffer as a result of that, right? But when I see that coming that way, I call my sponsor, I share it in a meeting, I talk to Tanya about it, I talk to Alex about it, you know, like I journal it, I inventory it, and I look at things, or I'll get in my meditation books, because a lot of meditation books at the back will have an index of things, and I'll look up, you know, meditations that that address resentment, and I'll look at resentment, and I'll work through it, because I don't want that today in my life, you know, I don't want to feel that way, I don't want anger and bitterness in my heart. And, you know, one of my friends, we were talking tonight after the meeting, and he said to me, it's like, I think you get to the point where you realize that we throw this word around, and I even do in my Peterisms videos, this word toxic, right? Toxicity around. What am I out on time? We throw this word toxic around, like toxic people. And I think any one of us at one time or another, well, maybe not all of us. I've met some people that I don't think ever probably have been, but I do know that I've been toxic at times. I've been toxic to myself. I've been toxic to family members. I've been toxic to boyfriends. I've been toxic to friends. I've been on and on and on. I know that, right? So I have to take a look at keeping myself in check so I'm not that and having that negative effect on other people. But like, I guard my serenity and my peaceful life today like nobody's business. I mean, I really, really do. And anything that comes around me that pushes a button or makes me start wanting to react into that negativity or that toxicity or that chaos again, I distance myself from it. Like, and we were talking about that tonight. It was because I had said something about that, and my friend said to me, he was like, you know, I feel the exact same way. He was like, we were this after the meeting. He was like, today when I see that, I'm like, stay away. Like, I don't want anything to do it. Keep me away, you know. And I just don't, you know. And this whole idea of like staying in my own lane came from a lot of what I was doing on YouTube. You know, it came from me like, just leave me over here, let me do what I want to do, let me make videos because I love to make videos. I don't need to be engaged in all that, right? But it's weird how that kind of like floated into my personal life as well, where, you know, areas in my personal life where maybe the lines of my road were convoluted, I started staying in my own lane as well. And I became a much happier person, you know, when I realized there is enough time in the day to work on there is not enough time in the day, to work on myself and achieve all of the things I want to achieve and making myself the best that I can be. I'll be damned if I'm going to give that over to somebody else. I'm not going to give my time that is valuable to me about my life over to somebody else. And I'm not going to let people rent space in my head for free anymore, you know? I'm just not. And if people have things to say about me or people don't like me, I can't change that, you know? I just can't. And they're going to have to just go on with feeling that way. And I'm not addressing it, you know? And that's not just online, that's offline too. But I have to say, like, in my real life, I don't really have that. I don't really feel like I have that a lot online anymore either, you know? I don't really feel like I have many situations with people where I don't like them, or I can't think of anybody that I really don't like. There's people that I pray for, you know, there's people that it makes me sad because I can see that they're unhappy, you know? And I wonder, you know, in retrospect, there were probably people, I'm sure many of you, that, you know, saw me and was like, he seems unhappy. He seems like he's acting out and he's angry. And I think anger is a secondary emotion. You know, I think anger covers up hurt and it covers up pain. And it covers up, like, you know, the saying, hurt people, right? Well, if we really are hurting our souls, if we really are sad people, you know, if we really are feeling some extreme pain by maybe things that happened 30 years ago or 40 years ago, or maybe things that happened just this year, you know, we feel pain inside, or maybe we're lacking love, or maybe we don't have somebody that cares about us, you know. And I think two things happens often when we feel pain. We either revert inside and we just hide inside of ourselves, or, I mean, if two things happen that are not healthy, okay? A healthy way to deal with that would be to talk to somebody and say, I'm feeling an immense amount of pain. I'm not happy, I'm sad, and I don't know what to do with these feelings, and the sadness is turning to anger, and I don't know what to do with it, you know? Like, I don't feel like anybody understands me, and I've had so many moments like that in my life, you know? But I think in an unhealthy way, and I've done both of these before, I think we either, like, revert, I don't know if that's the right word, that's not what I'm looking for, but we go inside, right, where we isolate and we don't talk to anybody, and we have no friends, and we really have nobody to talk about what we're going through. And especially if it's, you know, at times in our lives when we don't have people, and we don't have a lot of family, and we don't have a lot of friends, it's like, it's easier to isolate and stay inside of ourselves and just run this, like, scripted marathon in our heads of how somebody, you know, how painful what I'm going through is, and if you knew how bad my life was, and we script it in our head, right? Or I think we do the opposite, and I think the opposite is we take it out on other people, and it could be the people that are closest to us, or it could be complete strangers, and we take it out on them because we want other people to feel our pain, because if other people feel our pain, then we're not alone. And I don't want to do either one of those things today. I want to acknowledge my pain, I want to talk about my pain, I want to work through my pain, and I want to leave my pain. But pain is an important motivator in life, and I think that if we accurately and appropriately discuss pain that we're going through, I don't even know how this vlog turned into this tonight, but I think that if we accurately and appropriately look at pain and we talk about it, not physical pain, but like, well, maybe even, you know, but like emotional, mental pain, right? And we talk about how hurt we are by some situation that happened, or, you know, whether it's a breakup, or, you know, whether it's, I don't know, a work environment, or somebody that we feel like they did us wrong, or whatever. If we appropriately look at that pain, then I think that we have a chance to grow from that situation. If we don't, if we isolate, or if we turn around and try to hurt other people, I mean, I think that saying is fine, hurt people, but then what happens to the hurt people that were hurt by the hurt people? They hurt people that are hurt people, you know what I mean? It just goes on and on and on and on. When does it stop? Well, it can stop with you, and it can stop with me, and I can stop hurting people as a result of that, and I can say, this stops right here, I'm done. I don't have to be right, I don't have to finger point, I can just look at myself, right? But there's a lot of people that don't want to do that, and and I didn't want to do that at times in my life. I wanted to be vindicated, I wanted to be validated, I wanted to be told that I was right. That was more important to me than anything else in the entire world. Well, you know what? I've been in situations before where a lot of people were telling me I was right, and I've been in situations before where people were telling me that I was absolutely 100% correct in a situation that happened, and it sure as hell didn't bring any happiness. Oh my God, it's gonna stop already? Hold on. Okay. So I don't know that being right, my hair doesn't look too bad for being in a hat, does it? So being right doesn't necessarily bring us happiness. Being validated or vindicated, you know, doesn't necessarily bring us happiness, or doesn't bring me happiness. It doesn't, you know, bring me so much joy that I'm like, you know what? I was right, and now I know it, and everybody else knows. It doesn't make me happy. It makes me right. And have you ever been in a situation before where you were like so sure that you were right about something? You're like, I know I was right. I know I'm right in this situation. You fight, right? And then, you know, people tell you that you were right in that situation. You were, right? And for a second, it feels good. But then maybe like in the darkest, you know, most silent moments of your life, you start questioning, but was I right? Like, maybe I wasn't. And then you start feeling bad for the other person. It's a mess, right? Just focus on yourself. That's what I've been trying to do. It's much easier. You don't have to worry about all that stuff, you know? I always forget that I have this Laneige lip balm. But I liked that prayer a lot tonight that she said. God, help me to see things from a different point of view. I mean, it's like, what if? What if the way I look at things is wrong? Like, what if I've been looking at it this way? I mean, it's just a paradigm shift. It's a, you know, perspective change. What if I've been looking at this situation like this for so long, but if I moved over here a little bit and I saw it this way, or, you know, seeing it from somebody else's point of view, I think that's important too, you know? It's like, we learned that in To Kill a Mockingbird, you know, put ourselves in Boo Radley's front steps. What's it like looking at the world from that point of view? You know, it's like, if you ever saw the movie Dead Poets Society, where at the beginning Robin Williams has all of the students like stand on the desk and look at the room from standing on the desk. You know, the room looks one way when you're sitting at the desk in the chair. The room looks a different way when you're standing on top of it. What a powerful perspective change that is, you know? But I don't think many of us, including myself, look at things differently on a regular basis, you know? I'm trying to do that. And I'm going to try to do that going forward. I think in looking at things that way and talking about people needing to be right too, you know, one of the things that I can give to people, or one of the things that I can allow people, is to acknowledge when they are. Like, if it's really important to somebody, if it's really, really that important to them to be right, and if they are right, to acknowledge that and say, you know what, you are. Or, you know, that's where the amends process comes in, and making amends to people and letting them hear things that they need to hear, because we deserve to hear that as human beings, you know? We deserve to hear that we were wronged, and, you know, like, I think, like, I have, in the process of making amends to people, and this has happened to me as well, when people have made amends to me, I have felt it lifted from me, but I can see it in people's eyes before when I've made amends to them. Not because I'm a great person, because I'm not, but because I own some shit that I shouldn't have done to begin with. So let's just make it clear how it is, okay? But I have looked at people while I'm making amends at them before and owned something that they were not expecting me to own. And you can literally see, I could literally see it in their eyes shift, right? Like, they had believed, because of whatever had happened, like, they had believed that for so long. And then I said something and I took ownership over it. I took it away from them, and they no longer had to own it anymore. It was like it freed them from that. That's what the amends process does, hopefully, you know? And it's like, and I want to give that to people. And I want to give that to myself, you know? And it takes so very little. I mean, you don't even have to be in recovery to, like, apologize and own your shit to somebody, you know? Like, hey, I, you know, shouldn't have taken that parking space, you know? Or whatever it is. I also try to even out the score, too. And I know that this is going to sound corny, and I'm not going to list off all the good things I do, because they're not great things, right? But, like, on a daily basis, I'm just going to use this as an example. I haven't even done this in weeks, right? But if I'm going up and down the aisle at Walmart, right? And somebody else and I, like, we both turn down the lane at the same time, and there's one space, I just give it to them. You know, I think that I have enough moments in the world where I can do the right thing, and I can be the nicer person in that situation. Not that they're less of a nicer person, but why can't I be the nicer person first? Why can't I do something that maybe is putting a little goodness out there in the world, a little positivity, right? So when life offers me those moments, I try to do them, you know? Life also offers us enough moments to be a-holes, and we take them most of the time. Why not take the moments that life offers us to be good people, you know? So I've been trying to do a lot of that too. And it makes me feel better about being a person. Selfishly, maybe I'm doing some of those acts because I want to feel like a better person. There's nothing wrong with that either, you know? I don't think we have to tell people about that stuff. It was interesting because I did this video about Jaclyn Hill, and I was like, kept on thinking about this all day long. This is 2 days ago or something, maybe yesterday. But Jaclyn Hill put out this tweet, and I think it was in regard to the fires in Australia. And people were questioning whether or not she donated money or something like that. And she said, genuine question. It was like a tweet she put out. She said, genuine question, like, if she donates money, does she have to say she donates money? Because then people would say, well, you're bragging. But if she doesn't, they criticize her for not donating money. And you know, it was interesting. It was like her even bringing attention to the fact, I thought was kind of like, okay, girl, like, now you're basically telling us all the good deeds you do, right? But at the same time, I was like, later, I was like, I think that would be a difficult situation to be in, you know? Like, as a public figure, it's like, I don't know. I think I just not acknowledge it and move on. But, I mean, the whole idea of altruism is doing kind and good things for people and the world and not needing to tell anybody. You know, I was floored at my aunt's, I mean, I shouldn't have been. My aunt was a great person, my Aunt Kathy. But I was floored by the fact that when I was sitting in her, at her funeral, you know, like one of her very dear friends that used to live next door to her and then moved to Florida, she spoke at my aunt's funeral. And she knew my aunt for 20 plus years, right? And she talked about all of these things that my aunt had done that I was completely unaware of. Like, you know, my aunt did a lot in her life, and I knew a lot of the things that she had done. But I was not aware. I mean, some of these things that she did, some of these organizations she belonged to, some of the things that she did in her, I mean, it makes sense now in retrospect why she was so busy all the time. But I mean, like, I just was floored by a lot of this stuff. I mean, I just sat there and, like, you know, this woman just kind of ran off this list of all the things that my aunt used to do. And she said, and she told nobody, she never said a thing to anybody that these were the things that she did. And later I said something to my cousin Caroline, and Caroline was like, I didn't even know that she did some of those things. Her own daughter, her only daughter, didn't even, and they worked together, you know? She didn't even know that she had done these things. My aunt literally did these things and never said a thing to anybody. And the only reason that her neighbor knew was because she had lived next door to her for 20 years. And, you know, when she would leave, she'd say, like, oh, I'm going here, you know, whatever. But it wasn't like she was bragging about it, you know, or I don't know. I think it's qualities like that, you know, in the human existence that I aim to be. Those are people that are role models for me. Those are things that I want to do and be in my life. I want to be that kind of person, you know, that just good deed, I mean, what happened to the idea of doing good deeds because it's the right thing to do? Like, or being nice to somebody because it's the right thing to do, or complimenting somebody because it's the right thing to do. When did that stop? Like, when did we become such a, and myself included, I'm part of this as well, but when did we become such a selfish society that we always think about ourselves first, ourselves first, ourselves first? You know, we don't think about how we're affecting other people or hurting other people or whatever, you know? I don't know. I think it's one of the reasons why, like, I try not to, like, engage in I mean, it's funny that I say this because, you know, I have YouTube channels, but, like, I try not to engage a whole lot in social media. I don't enjoy it. I just don't. I like looking at pictures on Instagram. I think that's fun. And I like watching people's stories because they're like mini videos. I love Goodreads. I never get on Snapchat. I don't even know why I have a Snapchat. I never get on it. And I rarely ever, I posted on Facebook today because somebody started an account and they were like, I don't even know how they were finding people to friend request. They were like friend requesting, it was the weirdest thing. They were friend requesting people that I'm not even friends with that like follow me on YouTube. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know, but anyway. So I put something out about it because I woke up and I was getting all these messages about it, right? But like that was the first thing I posted on there in a long time. I think I posted something about PP. But I don't post on Facebook very often. And Twitter, I have to say, like, as much as I like to read it, and I think it's fun to read and see what's going on, there's so much toxicity on Twitter, so much back and forth, nasty, angry banter that I don't enjoy. From all sides. It just is the energy that it takes to be angry and to really dislike somebody. Like, I absorb that like a sponge to water. I really, really do. And I have to be very careful because I can fall really quickly into that. And so it's just easier for me just to stay away from it. It's just easier for me to not see it, and I don't mind. People will message me stuff, but half the time I'll see it and I just don't even, I'm just like, whatever, But it's like, not necessarily about me, but they'll say like, did you see this? I'm just like, yeah, okay, it's not about me. Even if it is about me, it's not really about me, you know what I mean? It's not something it's not about me. And it's sad. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to spend my time doing that. Hell, I can't even finish the books that I want to finish. I only read, where is the turn here? It is so foggy. Do you guys see this? You can't see it, do you? Did I miss the turn? I think I missed the turn. Oh no, here it is. It is literally so foggy. Can you see this? How foggy it is outside? I don't think you really can. But anyway, I can't even finish the books that I want to finish, let alone, my camera for some reason, all of a sudden, it says Peter underneath there every once in a while, which I think is hilarious. I can't even finish the books that I want to finish, let alone get engaged and all of that. I don't have the time for it. When you think about the amount of minutes and that we have on this earth, and you have the opportunity to give those minutes to positive things or negative things, or making new memories, or reliving old memories that meant something to you, or doing something creative, or reading a book, or watching a TV show, or hanging out with your kids or your family, or laughing, or even crying over something that makes you sad. Why would you spend your time being bitter and angry? I don't understand that. Like, being angry, I think, is a real normal emotion. I think a lot of us feel it on a regular basis. But dialing up pain is a different thing. Tanya always says that to me. Do not dial up. She said that to me for 10, 20 years. Why are you dialing up pain? It's like, why are you starting this? So then you're just going to be angry for the next 20 hours. It's like, don't even, just don't. And there's so much truth to that, I used to do that a lot. I don't do that anymore. Well, not often, I don't. I try not to be. I try to, because then it floods into my other areas. Have you ever been so angry? It's like, you're angry about something stupid that happens in the morning, right? Like, somebody cuts you off in traffic and then it affects your day at work, and then you're pissed at everybody at work, and then everybody's coming at you, and then you go home. And then you walk in the door and it's like your husband or wife says, like, hey babe, how was your day? And you just are ready for a fight. You know what I mean? And it's not fair to them. It's like, I should have left that stuff at the road rage when I was driving into work this morning. I should have just left it there and been done with it, But I think that's easier said than done sometimes. I really do. I think it's hard, for a lot of us. I mean, there are moments now when I can feel myself like getting heated, and then I'm like, I have to stop myself and go, will this matter to me 10 years from now? Will this matter to me 5 years from now? If the answer is no, let it go. Hit the pause button. I have a big pause button that I hit. Hit the pause button. Think about this. Do I need to engage? No. I don't need to get involved in this. Whatever it is, what somebody's doing or saying about, and if it involves me, then I have to ask myself the same question. But I think there's so many situations throughout the day, I mean, I think when, like, you're just scrolling through Facebook, have you ever seen something and somebody will say something and it really is nothing personal to you, but you'll have some really strong feeling about it, and you like want to sound off about it because you have a right to your opinion, which we all have a right to our opinion. That doesn't mean that we need to share it. I think we forget that sometimes, I think that I know I have. I think that we forget sometimes that just because we have an opinion, it doesn't mean that we always have to share it. Just because we have a voice doesn't mean we have to use it. So, I said in my video the other day, I was talking about Twitter, my drama video, and I said, if you want to follow a real boring Twitter person, follow me, because I post stuff like, happy Friday, you know, how are you guys doing? But it's true, you know, like, I don't know. My life seems to go a lot happier when I'm happy, and I have peace and serenity in my soul. When I'm all wired up and angry and bitter, like, I'm not a happy person and I'm not enjoying life. And I know that to be true, and those are very simple ideas. And so if I want to be happy and I want to enjoy my life, I have to put happiness in my life. You know, it was like, I was talking about this with the Jaclyn Hill thing, about how she always notices the negativity, right? And somebody commented on my video and they said, when you surround yourself with positivity, you get positivity. When you surround yourself with negativity, you get negativity. And I truly, truly believe that. I really do, you know? I didn't even know it was supposed to be so foggy tonight. That water tastes so good. I think I could turn around and go back on a vacation right now. I'm like ready to. I know, isn't that horrible? But like, I'm ready to go on vacation again. It was so nice just to spend all that time together, you know, and even when we were like doing our own things, like watching shows, we were like just right there next to each other. But then we came back, and like last week we were together so much, and it was like, I don't know. And then, you know, Alex is around people all day long, so when he comes home, he likes to have some like peace and quiet to himself a little bit. He just sent me a picture before I started vlogging. He was sitting in a chair with his pajamas and robe on, watching that Very Cavallari or whatever, Kristen Cavallari show. He really likes that Justin Anderson, that hairstylist. He's like followed him forever on Instagram, and he's on that show now because he's real good friends with Kristen Cavallari. And so, did we interview her back in the day? I don't know if we did. I don't think so. We interviewed LC, Lauren Conrad, but I bet he was like, took a picture, and he's like laying in the chair, and he's like watching the show, and like Tucker's asleep right down by him. It's like a Sherlock Holmes kind of night. Fog always kind of scares me. It reminds me of like several movies that I've seen, including that movie, The Fog. Did you ever see that movie? Now my tire just went down to 32. Somebody said to me earlier, they're like, yeah, but when it's really cold outside, your tires lose pressure. I'm like, it's 30 degrees. It's been a lot colder than this winter, and my tires haven't lost any pressure. I don't know if I should go and just like fill it up to 36 or if I should just leave it. I feel like that's really high. Do you guys feel like that's really high? It was at 34, so it's lost 2% since I've been like driving around for like an hour almost, 40 minutes, something like that. So I probably should stop and fill it a little bit. I'm not super hungry now. I thought I was gonna get Taco Bell, but I'm not really that hungry anymore. I don't really want to fill it. Tires, okay. I'm excited to see Valerie. I haven't seen her since before Christmas. I miss her. It's funny when I like have the radio on in the background and then it like it changes and it like catches my eye. Right now I'm listening to Chill, channel 53. It's like electronic dance music chill, and it's Dance Electronic 53 Chill. Thievery Corporation, Let the Chalice Blaze. I don't know that song. But it's like very loungy music. I remember for my mom's 60th birthday, Caroline and my Aunt Kathy and my mom and my ex and I, we all went to Chicago for my mom's 60th birthday. And we stayed at the W Lakeshore. And I never stayed at a W hotel before. I was really excited. And my aunt and my mom were snoots about the whole thing. And my aunt was like, because my cousin booked the whole thing and she wanted to stay at like a new hotel that was kind of cool. And it was a W, it was pretty new to Chicago, I think, at that point. And so my aunt was like, I wish we could have stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, come to Chicago to do something special. My mom was like, oh, that would have been so nice. They were kind of snoots about the whole thing. But anyway, we loved the hotel. The hotel was fantastic. I still to this day love W hotels. I think they're so cool. And, but I remember like the hotel room. It had like this, it was like really small though, but it like looked right over the lake. It was beautiful and it was real small, but I remember it had like this purple, like blanket comforter. It was like blanket material, but it was like a comforter over the bed with the white sheets. And then they had this CD that they played, like they had a CD player and it had this like W music that they played throughout the hotel, but then you could play it in your room too. And it was all like loungy music, like 53 Chill. And I love like chill electronic dance music, like very like loungy music that you hear by the pool and stuff like that. I love that. It's like probably my favorite. Like Nora and Pure, she's my favorite DJ of life. People always ask that. They're like, it used to be Cascade, I think. And then for a while I really liked Marshmello. I'm kind of the mainstays with like the big DJs. Like I like a lot of like the big like David Guetta and Steve Angelo and of course Swedish House Mafia. God, that was so cool that we got to see them all together a couple years ago. But I have to say like Nora and Pure is probably my favorite. I remember, was it last year or the year before? I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, because it was at the Bayfront, which is where it's going to be this year. When Alex and I walked into Ultra, like she was playing like the second day, right when we walked in at the world stage. And it was like sunny and everybody was standing out there dancing and she was fantastic. If you've never heard of Nora and Pure, look her up. She's on YouTube, I'm sure. It's Nora, N-O-R-A, space, E-N, space, Pure, P-U-R-E. I don't know where she's from. I think it was at the end. I don't know where she's from. I think she's from South Africa or somewhere like that. Or maybe she's from like, I don't know, like France or Amsterdam. I don't know. She's long blonde hair, gorgeous, just very cool. Wears like t-shirts and just has long blonde hair. She actually looks like one of my good friends. And unbelievable DJ, just absolutely unbelievable. And that day I was so excited because I was like, she was like up there and I was like 10 feet away from like the DJ booth and she was just like DJing and it was just so cool. It was just such a neat moment. And we just kind of like walked into it. Like we didn't expect it. Like I knew she was playing that day, but we got there early for some reason. Alex wanted to see somebody on like the main stage, I think. And so we got there early because they were starting at like 5 and she had gone on at like 3:30 or 4 and she was still playing. And so we got like the last 20 minutes of her set. It was so cool. It was just really, it was a really cool day. I cannot wait to go to Ultra again. I'm so excited. Melissa and Jason are going too, which will be fun. We've got a lot of trips coming up. We've got Dallas. I guess we don't. I guess it's Dallas and then Miami, and then we're supposed to maybe go back to Miami in April. And that's it for trips planned. So we'll have to start booking some new trips. I'm ready. Like looking at my gas tank, I'm like, when did I fill the tank? And I'm like, oh, I filled it last night. Cause I'm like a little bit low. I mean, I'm not low on gas. I'm just like an 1/8 down. I was like, when did I fill it up? 36 seems so... I keep on talking about this. So silly, isn't it? I feel like 36 seems really high when it comes to filling my car thing. What is going on here with this? Why is that the one song that always sticks in my head when I am vlogging? Like, I always hear that song. So I'm still reading that. I'm still listening to that audiobook. I listened to like 10 minutes of it last night. I didn't listen to much of it at all. And I was like, why didn't I listen to it? I was like, oh, because I talked to my friend from recovery. And then after that, then I listened to a little bit of it, and then I went home and watched that show. I want to finish watching The Confession Killer too, or I think that's The Killer Confessions or whatever. I was talking to my friend about that tonight, that is equally obsessed with true crime. We were like talking about like being alcoholics and being obsessed with true crime, and we were like laughing and stuff. And I was talking to another friend of mine first, and oh no, that's not what I want to do. I was talking to another friend of mine first, and he loves to read like middle grade books because his kids are like that age and stuff. So he was telling me about, who is he telling me about that had because he likes to read like fantasy world building books, and I was telling him to read Lee Bardugo's Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. And then he was telling me that he's reading these books called Tunnels, which I actually have the first one at home. I bought like years ago. But then he was telling me about, who is he telling me that? Oh, Suzanne, I can't think of her name, but the one that wrote The Hunger Games, that she has like elementary school books, and he said they are really, really good. There's like a series of them, and he loved them. But anyway, so he and I were talking with like two other people, and then my friend walked out, and she and I like immediately started talking about true crime, and this other friend of ours was like, so yeah, what about those middle grade books again? Because we were talking about like all of this like, you know, true crime kind of like killer scary stuff. I feel so blessed to have the friends I do in my life. I have such just amazing, magical people as friends. I just feel so blessed. If I don't eat something now, though, and I go to the casino, then I'll get hungry there, and I'll want to get like a grilled cheese and onion rings, which is like the worst thing in the world to eat, and then I'll feel like so sick tomorrow. But I'm just like, I don't know, I'm not really hungry for anything else, and I don't want to go to Meijer and get hummus, and I don't really know what to have. If I call Alex will be like, make a salad, and I'm like, I don't really want a salad at 10:45. I just don't. I mean, if I was going to go somewhere and pick up a salad, but that's called true laziness, which is me all the way. I need to go to Lush and buy some new stuff, because I have like this much left of my Fairly Traded Honey shampoo. I have a little bit more than that of the Veganese, but like tonight I used the Fairly Traded Honey shampoo, but then I used this conditioner of Alex's, this volumizing conditioner. I don't know if it works, who cares? Is it making my hair bouncing and behaving and volumizing? And then, I'm like, I just need to go in there and buy some things. I need to look and see what they have that's new. I'd like to buy some of their bars of soap, is what I would like to do. Because I really like those special soaps. Every time somebody sends me those like handmade soaps, I like use them like right away. I think I want to get like a cinnamon smelling soap. You can get them at Whole Foods too. They have like those glycerin bar soaps and stuff like that. They're probably not great for your skin, but I don't care. I mean, I use Dial right now. We use the white Dial bars. They're super cheap, and I love how they smell. They make your skin smell so clean and fresh. And then afterwards, I always lotion, you know. So, I love that Christmas scent that I got. That was like that hemp's lotion. I love that stuff. I actually have the lip balm in here. Where is it? That matches it. You can see it in there even. Here it is. Yep, that's what I smell like. I think it's called like winter spiced berry or something, or maybe that's that Sprite that I reviewed. I think that is the Sprite that I reviewed. That is too funny. I don't have my reading glasses on, so I can't really see what it says. Minted something, something. Maybe this is different. Maybe this is different. I don't know. It's holiday though, but the coloring is the same. I was gonna get Sarah some of this, and I went back into Ulta and they didn't have it anymore. I mean, they have the brand, but they didn't have it. They have their spring stuff out now. They don't have their winter stuff anymore. Oh, but did I tell you guys this? So I went into Ulta because whoever sent these to me, you started something that you probably shouldn't have, but thank you so much anyway. I never remember who sent me stuff, you guys. I'm sorry. Like, that's why I try to show it, because I'm so thankful for it, but I don't remember later. But whoever sent me these, can you see them? If you've never seen these before, they're bedazzled. Here, I'm gonna stop in just a second because I'm at a light, so I'll stop and I'll show you. But if you can see, they're like bedazzled. They're so fantastic. Do you see these? Oh my God. This is the vanilla one right here. And this is the cherry or strawberry? Strawberry. So, they were $20 each, you guys, okay? Well, I went back to Ulta. Did I tell you this already? And for Sarah's little party that she had the other night, and I wanted to get her some stuff. They have these on sale for $9.99. So I got 3 more of the red ones. I love the vanilla too. And I think the vanilla is so pretty, but the strawberry is definitely my favorite over that. And then what does this say? If I can see. Hold on a second. Put my half reading glasses on. Minted sugar and spiced nutmeg herbal lip balm holiday edition. That's what this is. And I don't know, I feel like the lotion is like sugar plum or something. So it's not exactly the same thing. God, the moon is so pretty tonight. I mean, it's only like half a moon, but it's really pretty. It's like big right there. Big, you know? Go home and spend about, well, I mean, he'll probably be getting ready to go to bed soon. So I'll just lay in bed with Alex for a little bit and we'll talk and hang out. And talk about our day and how our day's been and stuff. I love my husband so much. It's so weird being there without PP. You know, and often at the end, you know, when I was there during the day, sometimes because he was so lethargic, like the last couple, you know, last month, especially the last month, but like the last 2 months, that he would sit upstairs sometimes. Like, I mean, he would come down for like one video if I was filming it and sit next to me, but typically, you know, he would sit upstairs and I would just have him, like, you know, tucked into his little bed and whatever on the bed. And so for me to like be moving around downstairs and stuff, it wasn't weird to not see him right there, you know? Sometimes I'd have them all out, you know, like in the upstairs door closed. And that is the one weird thing too, because of the Lasix that he was on, or the Salix or whatever it's called. He peed so much, you know, like pee-pee would like urinate everywhere. And he literally would like, I would take him outside and he would just like pee, 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 pee. I mean, forever, right? And then go somewhere else and then pee, 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 pee. He would pee like 3 times outside, and then I would bring him inside and he would drink water. And then as soon as he drank the water, he would like walk like 2 steps and he would pee all over the floor again. Thank God we have slate floors in the kitchen because they were real easy to like clean up, you know? And I find myself like in the kitchen, like looking at the floor, like to see if he's like, it's just, it's weird. It's weird that he's not there, you know? I miss him so much. I am so thankful though that I have all the pictures and I have all the videos and stuff, you know, so I can go through and like look at him. And especially, you know, like I have pictures and videos from the very beginning of how, you know, like being with him. So I have like all those years I wish I had actually filmed more videos. You know, from like I mean, of course I changed phones, but my SIM card was the same. But from the very beginning when, like, you know, I wish I would have filmed more videos back then when PP first came into my life, because I don't really have that many videos from then. I have videos from like the last 5 or 6 years, you know, but that's it. But thankfully, it's not all just videos from when he was sick, you know, and that it's videos from him like running around in the backyard and, you know, chasing birds and bunny rabbits and squirrels and, you know, walking around with his brothers and chasing his brothers around in the living room, or, you know, rolling on his back on the bed and, you know, like being funny. And I mean, I've got all that. I've got videos of all of that, and it makes me very happy. And I'm really, really thankful for that, because one of the saddest things about my mom being gone is that I don't have any video footage whatsoever of my mom, like, except for that. And I haven't watched it. I don't know why. I keep on thinking I need to watch it, and then I'm like, okay, I keep on forgetting. It's not like I think, okay, I'm gonna do it. No, I can't. I don't know. And I have a feeling, like, and maybe this is it, that it just will do nothing for me. You know, I mean, it's literally her reading the part in Corinthians about love is blind and love is this and love is that. It's all it is, you know, from the wedding. I don't actually know if there's parts from, like, the wedding reception on there. But that would be fun to see my mom dancing and stuff. I'll have to watch it. It'd be kind of fun just to watch anyway. Caroline's wedding. But I have that, and I haven't watched it, you know, and it makes me sad that I don't have, like, I used to work with this girl, I remember back in the day, and, like, every time her mom would leave her voicemail messages, she saved them. I mean, she had something ridiculous. She had all these voicemails saved in her phone, and she'd be like, if something ever happens to my mom, I want to have them all saved. I'd be like, girl, seriously? I mean, you have something like 87 voicemail messages from your mom. What are you going to do, just go through all of them and listen to them? Now, I wish I had even just one voicemail message from my mom, you know what I mean? I wish I even just had one. So she was the smart one and I was the fool, wasn't I? But I think it's weird too, like, one of the things about, like, when somebody's passed for a while, it's like, every once in a while I'll get a whiff of somebody that smells like my mom. Or, like, something in the house will smell like my mom. Which, you know, they say if you believe in spiritual stuff that means that they're, like, around you visiting. But, like, I really forget what my mom sounded like. Like, I can see her clearly in my head. Like, and it's weird, I always see her, like, going to her door at her condo, and, like, her opening the door, being like, and giving me a huge hug. My mom was a big hugger. And, like, that's what I see. Always, like the glass door, and then her opening the glass door and giving me a huge hug. I see her fingernails too, but I think that's because that was, like, one of the last things I, like, looked at before I, like, left the room, was I, like, held her hand and I looked at her hand. I don't know. But it's weird that you forget people's voices, you know, like, I don't hear it. I've had a lot of dreams of my mom, but I don't have dreams where, like, she's talking to me often in my dreams. Do you know I haven't had any dreams about PP? Is that not so weird? Like, I was talking about the other night on here about how I was, like, laying there and I was half asleep and it felt like he was going like this, but it wasn't a dream. It was like, it truly felt like somebody was doing that to me, you know, like in real life. And Boo and Tucker were both asleep. But I haven't had any dreams about him. I've, like, prayed for it and I've, like, hoped for it, that he would, like, visit me in a dream, you know, or that I would have a little dream. And, it was interesting because I was watching this. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't going to believe in this, but I just, whatever. You know, I've watched all these videos on, like, where do animals go when they pass over to the other side and stuff like that, which I believe in. And a lot of people are talking about animals visiting you, like, you know, in your sleep and dreams, and that's when they visit you. And a lot of these people say, a lot of these psychics say that, like, if you're grieving really, really heavily, that it, like, if you have like heavy grieving, right, that it drags your emotions down. It drags your level down, right? And so spirits are so high up here, and if you're down here, like, you have to be lighter so that they can come down to you, and that's kind of like where you meet in the middle in like a dream or whatever. So you might not have a dream from your beloved pet if you're like really, that was a weird billboard. It was like a baby, and it said, when I grow up, I want to be, and I didn't see the rest of it. It was something kind of sad, I think, about a hospital, but anyway. But like, if you're grieving, having a really tough time grieving, chances are you're not going to have like a dream because they can't, like, I mean, you're too like heavily loaded down with your emotions and stuff to feel differently, if that makes sense. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know if I believe in that, but whatever. Anyway, I know I'll dream about the little guy. And whether it's him visiting me or not, you know, it'll just be a reminder of how much I loved him, and I'll be happy to see him there in my dream state. So when that happens, and I'll let you guys know, of course. I'll be like, PB came last night. I feel him around me sometimes. It's weird because, like, you know, I could always, like, when I was downstairs and I was like working around the house doing stuff, I could hear him like jump from the bed to like the wood floor, and then I'd hear his little feet, because, you know, there's like probably 1.5 feet between like we have a rug at the end of our bed so they could jump up and down without falling, but then you'd hear that, I'd hear like the thump of the rug, and then because there's like 1.5 feet between the rug and the carpet that goes down the stairs, and then I'd hear him go boom, 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 boom down the stairs. I swear, every once in a while, I hear like, and the bedroom door will be closed. I hear because we closed our bedroom door, it seems like I hear somebody jump from like the bed to the floor. It's the weirdest thing. So it's not Boo and Tucker because the door's closed, you know, but it's so weird. Sometimes I just kind of, today when I was filming a video, I just kind of felt like he was next to me. It was the weirdest thing. Maybe he is, I don't know. I hope and I pray. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing, what is tomorrow? Wednesday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something that will make you proud 5 or 10 years down the road. Don't get bogged. Don't get drained by negativity. Don't get bogged down with negativity. Play into the positivity. Be positive. Put positivity out there. Let's all do that. And yeah, and if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say, I love you. You are valuable. You are important. You matter. And today is going to be a great day. And this year, 2020, is going to be your best year yet. And most importantly, make sure that you let somebody else in your life know how much they mean to you, how much they matter, how much they make you happy or affect your life positively on a daily basis. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. And I said this was going to be short, and it was not short. So I get a free pass. I love you. Bye.